Hello everyone. This video deploying JasperReports Server on Kubernetes with simple customizations will explain how to apply some customizations for the JasperReports Server deploying on Kubernetes. Agenda for this video. Here we will show how to apply two simple customizations. First one, adding the Elasticsearch database to the JDBC data source list. By default, it does not show the Elasticsearch database in the JDBC data source list in the JRS application. Second one, increasing the thread count from 4 to 6. This is the number of concurrent scheduled jobs can execute the reports. Let us see this in the demo section. This is the JRS application. Go to data sources. Under JDBC driver, here by default it won't show the option Elasticsearch. Now we'll see how to add that one, and I will also show the thread count. For that, get into the pod and navigate to the folder web apps, Jasper Server Pro and WebANF. Here you will find the file JS Quartz base properties file. You will see the default value is 4. So now we'll see how can we customize it. You will find all the data in this repo, GitHub JS Docker repo, how to deploy JasperReports Server in Docker and Kubernetes and OpenShift. Let us go to where the customizations are there. Go to Docker and go to JRS and find the README. In this session, JasperReports Server and Buildomatic Customization section, you will see how to apply the customizations in Jasper Server folder and Buildomatic folder. Let's see this one. For example, if you have done some customizations in this file, JS config properties file, then make sure to copy the file into a proper directory structure under Jasper Server customization folder, which you will see under Jaspersoft containers, Docker, JRS. Under resources, you will see the Jasper Server customization. You have to follow the proper directory structure under here and place the file. And the same way, if you are doing the customizations to Buildomatic, you need to keep in Buildomatic customization folder, which is under same Docker, JRS. Under resources, you will see the Buildomatic customizations. Place the proper folder structure and place the file. This should be happen before creating the images. Let us see how we'll add that Elastic database option. For this, go to the Jasper Server customization folder, which is under Jasper containers, Docker, JRS, resources, and here is the Jasper Server customizations, and add the folder web apps and under web apps, Jasper Server -pro, and under Jasper Server Pro, add the folder webinf and place the file in this folder. Application context webapp.xml I am placing. I have done the customizations for this file. This is the file where I have done some customizations regarding Elasticsearch. These are the properties I have added. By this, it will show the option Elasticsearch in the JDBC. Then add the another file to reflect the thread count, that is JSWatch base properties file. It should be also under webinf. Placing this file under webinf. If you see here, the default thread count is 4. I am increasing it to 6. That's it about the files which we modify. Then we need to create the Jasper Server web app and buildermatic images. If you want to know more about how to create the images, please watch the video. Name is Creating Docker Images for JasperReports Server, where we have explained how to create images for various scenarios. That's it. Make sure before creating the images that you have updated the default host value with your repository host name. You will find DB host value under default master properties, which is under Jaspersoft containers, Docker, JRS, resources, default properties, and default master properties. Here I am using repository PostgreSQL default SCV cluster.local. Because using PostgreSDB in the same cluster and named it as Postgres, and where default is the namespace which I am deploying. So let's create the images then. As mentioned earlier, before creating the images, we need to follow some prerequisites. Please watch the video regarding the creating images we already have. Go to Jaspersoft and navigate and pass the command docker -compose build, which will create the images for both Jasper Server and web app. To do this, we need to follow some prerequisites before. Check the images. Once the images are created, see, these are the images created. Once the images are created, you need to push this into the repository. As I'm using EKS, so I'm using the ECR repository, so which will see all the documentation under KTest folder. How to deploy the JasperReports Server on KTest. Which is under KTest, JRS. Under README section, we'll see all the steps how to deploy the JRS in EKS. You can follow this document and do. I am at this step now. I have created the images, both web app and Buildomatic. Now I need to push them into the ECR. To do this, we need to create an ECR repository. Go to the Elastic Container Registry and create the repository. Provide the name. Go to your registry. Under View Push Commands, you will see the commands for logging, tag, and push the images. These are the commands to log into ECR from your local and pushing the image. Let's copy the image command and pass in your command prompt for logging to ECR. So next step, we have already built the images, so skipping this one. Then the next, copy the command. Provide any tag name. I have given as Buildomatic as my tag name, and pass your image and the tag that you have created now. Jaspersoft Buildomatic, and the tag is 9.0.0, which I have created the images. Then copy the next command for push. Copy the command. Replace the tag name that you have passed now with Buildomatic. This command will push us the Buildomatic image to the ECR repository. Now follow the same commands. Tag and push the web app image to. Provide the tag that you created now, web app. This will push the web app image to ECR. Now we have pushed both the web app and Buildomatic image to ECR. Get the values.aml with the images in ECR. For this, navigate to the path, Jaspersoft containers, KTS, JRS, Helm, and values.aml. The values.aml file is used to set customizable values for deploying application. This values.aml file contains configurations for deploying Jasper Server, including settings for image name, database details, environmental variables, ingress configurations, logging and monitoring, and more. This part will help for loading the database. We have so many options. This is the ingress, and this is the part for scalable query engine. We have logging also and monitoring. If you want, you can enable those things. Copy the image URL from ECR. And place here under the web app name and give the tag name that you have provided there. I have provided web app. Same for Buildomatic also. Place the image URL here and the tag name I have provided for Buildomatic is Buildomatic. That's it about updating the images in values.yaml. The next step is place your license in the license folder, which is under Kubernetes, JRS, under Helm, under secrets. We have the license folder. Place your obtained license here and make sure it should have 644 permissions. Then the next step is key store generation. To generate the keys, you can follow either of the ways using JasperReports Server installer or by using Docker run. Now I am using Docker run. For this, we need Buildomatic image should be already created. So copying the command, change the Buildomatic version should be equal to the image that you have created and change the host path. I am on Windows, so using the path as like this. It creates a key folder. Under it, it creates both the keys. Build is successful. Now it creates the folder under C and creates the two keys under keys folder. Let's check that one. Move to the folder keys, which is under C. And the folder keys I have created. It creates the both keys under keys folder, JRSKS and JRSKSP keys. Now we need to move these two keys into key store folder, which is under KTS, JRS, Helm. Under secrets, we have the key store folder. We need to move those two keys here. Copying both the keys to the key store folder. It is under key store. And make sure it should have 644 permissions. Let's check it. Now we have under key store, the both keys are copied here. We are good for the key store. Then navigate to the KTS folder and add these repositories. The next step is Helm updating the dependencies. Copy the command. This will update your chart folder, which is under Helm. Then install the Postgres using Bitarmy charts. For this, passing this command. Postgres is deployed successfully. Now make sure that all Postgres pods are up and running by passing the command kubectl get all. So the Postgres is up and running. Now we are good to apply the last command, that is deploying the Jasper server, which is the command. It's one. Copy the command. Pass. I'm deploying in the default namespace, so I'm removing the namespace. That's it. It will take a few minutes to set up the database and install the JasperReports Server web app. Meanwhile, you can check in another window how it's working. What are the pods are creating for this application. And you can also check for the logs, how it's working. Now it's working on Buildomatic pod, so I will check for this, how it's going. This pod is responsible for loading the data into the Postgres. It's good working. It's loading the data to the Postgres DB. So let's wait. After the application is deployed successfully, we'll see all the pods with the default option in the values.ml I have deployed. If you want to add logging and monitoring, you will see more pods. So my application is deployed successfully. Then if you was enabled ingress, you will see the URL by passing these two commands. By default in values.ml, it is enabled. Copy the command. Copy the URL. Let's go to the application and check whether our customizations are applied or not. Go to data sources. Now we can see Elasticsearch option in data source under JDBC driver. Let us check the thread count applied or not. For this, we need to get into the container and navigate to the path, web apps, Jasper Server Pro, and webinif, where we placed the file. The file name is jas.quartz.base.properties file. Here now you can see that the thread count is increased to 6. The main thing is placing the customized file in the proper directory structure under Jasper Server customizations. As shown here, under Jasper Server customizations, you need to create a folder, web apps. Under web apps, need to create Jasper Server Pro. Under it, create a folder, webinif, and place the files that you customized here. And the same thing goes with the Buildomatic. If you are doing any Buildomatic customizations, place the proper directory structure under Buildomatic customizations. That's all about customizations. Thank you for watching this video.